Okay, hello everybody, and thank you again for visiting one of my recordings on pumping iron, fitness, calisthenics, anything that muscles getting worked out. So now today I particularly want to talk about resistance bands. So let me start with. I'm not gonna actually do anything with this one. This is the ball, the gorilla ball. I was gonna almost say ball flex from the old days. The gorilla ball is kind of practical way particularly if you're traveling and you don't have any access to weights. You can't carry your dumbbells or barbells with you. You can't go to gym. Whatever. You can really actually carry this. You can put it in 3 different pieces, so you can carry it easily in a bag. Obviously, you can just fold them in your bag and luggage and carry them with you and do a lot of exercises. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. That's not the intent of this recording. So I'm going to set this aside here somewhere. And what I will particularly talk about today is a couple different ways of using resistance bands. Actually, you can do a lot. I really came to like them. I'm not saying that the resistance bands are a good full replacement of free weights, barbells, dumbbells, the old school. I am an old school guy. I believe in I spent years with dumbbells and barbells, and also cable stack machines and all that. And I would say very recently, that is about a year now, that's a kind of a recent history compared to the rest of the stuff that I've been involved with. And the resistance bands, I think, is a great invention, I would say. Innovation, I should have said. Yeah, why? Why do I say that? Why do I think that resistance bands are good? They are good supplementation. And again, for practicality purposes, when you're you don't have any access somehow, or like COVID situation, gyms are closed. Right now, I was going to gym until a couple months ago. Again, I stopped doing that because of the Omicron. So I'm trying to kind of get by here in my basement with my stuff, my equipment. And in these kind of situations, resistance bands, you can be creative, you can do fun stuff, and it can be, I don't know, it comes kind of add some sort of variety to your workout regimen. So one of the ones that I want to show you here today is this particular setup. So first off, as you see, this is my pull-up and dip station. So I do this, I use this almost regularly, almost daily. That I do either dips or pull-ups. When I do pull-ups, and believe it or not, I used to do pull-ups with I was hanging weights on my body in the past, using something like this, and I was carrying weights and doing pull-ups. I was then, you name it. I was younger or I was lighter, whatever. I'm much heavier now, so my body weight is being enough. But I'm still, to make it more effectively, I'm using resistance bands as kind of to assist myself when I do pull-ups. I still use this to hang weights on my waist when I do dips. Still, I'm glad at least I can still do that. So anyway, what I was going to talk about today was, you see this band here? This one has the capacity, you can see that? This one has a capacity of 400 pounds. One thing, when I say that, I want to describe something, so I got to be very accurate with my numbers and with my definitions and descriptions. The way the resistance is measured in a resistance band is, this particular one is, I got to look at my list. I don't always remember the amount of resistance, but I think this one has a 35 pounds of resistance. But when you start, let's say I'm doing barbell curl. When you start, you're not applying that 35 pounds. It's a lot lighter. As you move up, then the resistance is going up. That's the whole idea with the resistance bands. Unlike free weights, let's say it is a 35-pound dumbbell. Actually, I can show you. This kettlebell is 35 pounds. And when I do kettlebell dumbbells like this, it is 35 pounds to begin with because it is 35 pounds. So for me to move it up, to curl it up, I gotta apply a force equal at least to 35 pounds, right? Well, it's not like that in the resistance band. It's lighter when you start, and it goes higher. And where does it hit? It's supposed resistance. In this case, in this particular one, 35 pounds. When you extend it to its double, like look at this distance, or look at this way, that's maybe better to describe it. Okay, now it's here. If I push it all the way up, now it's kind of doubled it. The weight, I mean not weight, the length of the cable now, okay, from here all the way up here, doubled. When you double it, now it is 35 pounds at the top. That means, you know, when you fully extend to its capacity is recommended twice of the length that it has when it's not in use. Then it's finding that claim resistance capacity. So after explaining this, I want to get back to this. This one is the heaviest resistance band. The brand name of these, the ones I was showing, this one, like these are Clench Fitness. I have different bands, like this one here, that has a different brand. What is this? Oh, there you go. This one is, for instance, Ethos. Heavyweight. Is that what it is? Yeah. Extra heavy. Ethos Extra Heavy. And this one is, as far as if I'm not remembering wrong, this has got to be about 200 pounds capacity. I have also these tubes. These are called tubes because, as you see, they kind of have a different shape, kind of tubular shape to them, and they have also various different types of resistance levels. Those are the Skills brands. And Skills also you can find when you go to athletic store. You can find a lot of, you know, interesting, nice equipment, super useful. It has a lot of utilitarian value as far as good exercise goes. Skills was also another good brand. So I have Clench, Skills, Ethos, and I think I had something else too, but I forgot that. Anyway, so what I want to show you here today is this. This is really, I experienced, I'm sorry, I apologize. I fooled with that enough to make sure that this is actually the 400-pound resistance. Why? If I put this, for instance, if I kind of, you know, double it, you know, fold it and put it down, so I want to do it like this, it becomes what? If you double it, 400 times 2, 800 pounds. And it's to the degree that, you know, I cannot even move it a little bit. So I tried to be a little bit creative. So I put it like this. I wrapped it around my, you know, the top section of my station. And I put the two different chains like this. Oops, so one of them came off, but I better put it back. There you go. So these two are basically nothing but the regular dog leash chain, I mean not chains, kind of dog leash. You can, the handle side, this is the handles. If you use a dog leash, in fact, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says Husky. That's for dog leash. So like I said, I was trying to be creative. So I put these two chains and attach the, you know, these handles, originally meant for a leash, dog leash, to these chains. So that way I can kind of simulate, like in a gym environment, you can do back pulleys on a cable stack machine, right? I want to show you, and before I start, actually I'm going to do this by sitting down on this chair. I want to tell you this so you can make your own comparison. Again, this is 400-pound capacity. It works in the same fashion that I tried to describe with a lot lighter one, the 35-pound capacity one. In the gym, when I use cable stack machines, I can handle, for instance, like a rows, parallel to the floor, and sit down, holding the handles and pull. I can do 300 plus pounds, and I can do that for 8 reps. And I can handle 5 or 6 different sets. Similar fashion, when I do back pulleys, I can manage up to 300 pounds, although I can only do 4 reps with 3 or 4 reps with 300 pounds on the cable stack. With this, notice the amount of challenge that I'm having. Not too bad, still working, but just to kind of give you an idea. I got to pull my chair a little closer because I have to use my feet to support the pull-up station, otherwise it's going to fall down on me. There you go. So now look at that. I'm going to start like this, and I'm going to pull. I'm going to get back a little further. There you go. All right, so I guess the angle on my phone I'm using for it's a little bit high, so you can't see it really while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna do this a little bit, reduce it. There you go. So it's a little more. Reduce the height. There you go. Let me check, if it's a good angle or not. There you go. Yeah, I can do that. What I want to show you is when I do with 300 pounds in the gym with a cable stack machine, I can pull all the way to my chest, like from this distance all the way to my chest. See if I can do this the same fashion with this setup. If you noticed, I cannot really put it up against my chest. It's a little bit further away because I'm having difficulty to pull that much of a distance. Because again, the resistance capacity of this band is 400 pounds. So when I force it towards myself, especially given this kind of a setup, right? It has 2 support points, right? 2 support points. So the distance is kind of applying the same principle that I explained before. The length of it should be twice of the size of the length at rest. At rest, you not no force is being applied to the band, right? So I'll do it again. This is more or less fit into that rule. And I'll do it again. I want to look at there and make sure that if you can see that. More or less, I think you can see it. So I'm going to do it again. Or maybe I have to lower this a little more. I'm going to lower this a little more. Okay, there you go. My chair is kind of low, so I gotta adjust the camera, right? So go back to this. Have a good grip. Have a good grip. Now, all right. So I didn't actually count the reps. I believe I exceeded 6, maybe 6. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is number one point is the ability that I can kind of simulate my what I can do in the gym environment with those fancy gyms, you know, the fancy machine equipment, fancy cable stacks. You have all kinds of angles, right? You can pull from top this way. I mean, any angle. There are different designs. And I'm home. I have what's available to me, as you can see. You can only do so much at home, right? You can only do so much. I mean, in this basement, I have, you know, for a personal use, I have a lot of stuff. I have 3,000 pounds of total weights, actual free weights. You see that bench, squat bench. I have a lifting station, kind of like an old Smith machine, but it's not Smith machine, but it kind of works that way. You know, weight trees there, back there. A lot of stuff for personal use, but again, you know, you're kind of limited as far as, you know, the variance goes. You know, it's not like in a gym. But I believe if you're creative, you know, you can actually come up with various different types of solutions. I will be going back to gym. I'm planning to go back to gym sometime, hopefully middle of or maybe end of March. By April, I'm planning to start going to gym again. I'm following the numbers, the COVID numbers, Omicron numbers. I think numbers have been steadily going down, so that's kind of a good sign. So I should be able to go back to gym and without any kind of a risk or fear, because I hate to use mask when I work out. That's one of the reasons why I'm seeing some people doing that. I understand that they're concerned. Obviously, they're trying to protect themselves, but you know, I can't wear a mask and exercise. So I better not go, stay home, and use what I have. So in this kind of setup, again, I was trying to be creative to create something like that, so I can simulate, you know, what I can do. For instance, for back workouts, like the one I was just showing you. I'll do one more set. I'm making sure that my device is working, so my voice is being recorded by. All right, so go back. There you go. I can tell, I can convince myself. Oh, one of the light bulbs are goes on and off. You know, I can convince myself, honestly, when I do 300-pound pulls on this in this manner, like this, doing kind of a seated rows. It's called the seated cable rows. I'm having the same kind of resistance on a cable stack machine. You know, when you put pins on different weights, different stacks. So, more or less, this is actually 400 pounds. And believe me, I try to do, I did deadlifts with that. I had to come up with another kind of creative way to figure out how to do it. Yes, it's giving me a good, real good deadlift workout. I want to show you something else. Now I'm done with this. I will remove this. Okay. And set this aside somewhere. All right. And I will do, you know, a few sets of pull-ups. But when I do this, you remember I was telling you, I was back in the day, I was pretty good with pull-ups. You know, you might be, thinking I'm BSing, that's fine. When my body weight was 180 pounds, yeah, 180 pounds, no, even 100, less than that, 175 pounds or maybe, I was able to put 120 pounds of weights on my waist using something like this. It wasn't this, but something like this, some way of putting on my waist. And I was doing 5 reps on bicep, like close grip for biceps. So like holding like that, weights are on my, hanging down, right? And then here, 5 reps. Well, these days, I'm much heavier than that and much older than that. You can tell that from my gray beard, right? So I was then 21, 22 years old, and I was able to do that kind of pull up until real late age. I mean, I was still doing those until like 45, even 50. But the pull-ups is one of those you kind of tend to go kind of suffer as you get older. Even though you try to stick with it. Maybe I didn't do as good of a job. I should have done a better job to try to stick to it. But it was one of my most favorite type of exercises. Just like dips. I love dips. Believe me, if I want it, sometimes I do dips, nothing but dips, for an hour and a half. There's some, turn on Netflix movie or music. If I can get in the groove of it, flow of it, I can do it hour and a half. I love it. I love calisthenics. Dips, pull-ups, push-ups, those kinds of calisthenic exercises using nothing but your own body weight. I believe they're valuable, real valuable type of exercises. See, I'm checking the time, 22 minutes. I'm going to stop. Less than 30 minutes, I'm going to stop. So this one is, I'm going to use a resistance band for a pull-up because it's really helping me. So there you go. All right. This one, one little trick with that. This has the capacity, the resistance capacity of it is a little heavier, a little more than the other one I was showing you. I believe this is about 50 pounds. But for the reasons that I explained, when I'm going all the way down, and then, pull myself, the distance that is moving is only from the floor level to the point that when I'm fully pulled up is only this much. This much. That means it's the equivalent of starting from the rested position for the resistance cable and then doing this. That's it. This is the distance. Not all the way up. That makes it then bring it up to its claimed resistance level, which is 50 pounds. So it's actually a lot lighter than that. Maybe 15 to 20 pounds is adding. My body weight is about 255 pounds. So let's say it's adding 20 pounds. That means I'm using 235 pounds when I'm doing pull-ups. That's the amount of weight being applied to me in this pull-up exercise. I'll do another set. Same principle. All right. Another set is done. So, oops. This came off. Put it down. Come on. I think it's out of battery. It's not turning on. Oh, there you go. All right. So those are the two things I wanted to show you. I just passed 25 minutes, and I want to cut it before 30 minutes. Two things. So like I said, one was that for back pulleys, and the other one was the pulleys using a resistance band as an assistance tool to help with your pull-ups. Pull-ups are wonderful, wonderful exercises, and if you can't do it, you can come up with a solution like this that would help you, to pull yourself. And as you gradually gain strength, then you can use a lighter one, and hopefully one day you can get rid of it completely, and you can do your own, muscles only 100% to achieve your pull-ups. So because again, pull-ups are, hitting a lot of muscles, a lot of back muscles, a lot of actually the core is working a lot when you're doing pull-ups. Core is very important. You feel it or not, you think about it or not, core is working out. Obviously, biceps, shoulders, back, a lot of muscles are getting stimulated, and it's a wonderful calisthenic exercise. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate for spending time and watching my recording on these exercise types. Until another program, see you later. Stay strong, stay healthy, and stay safe.